What's up, guys? A very short update on the price of Bitcoin. There are good news and there are bad news, at least for the bulls. The bad news is apparently the recent drop in price from 64.5 all the way down to $62,000, even lower. And it's actually, well, currently it is still okay because we are above the previous highs, but they are so close that it's getting a little dangerous. At the same time, we had a very similar situation here, the same $64,500 when this resistance was tested so many times that it's likely that it will be broken at some point. But I mean, the question is when, right? Ideally, relatively soon. So you'd expect something like this maybe, and then eventually, well, until the end of July, maybe actually within the next week or two, we will see this breakout. But at the same time, again, we have this ever-going circle that we had another zone similar, but this time it is a support area around $58,000, which also looked very much the same. So in fact, we had a very close set of these three lows. Previous was 60K, and next one was 58, and like 58 point something, and then a little less than $58,000. So they're very close, but they're still like lower lows, which actually provided some hope in terms of potential bullish divergences, at least on the daily time frame. I think it happened at that point, but it is still very dangerous because as soon as we test the area, and even like moreover this almost like the whole same level, like I would say $58,000, more and more times, then it's likely that it's eventually will be broken. The same as here, but this area is actually has a lot of resistance above that, like these highs, and in general, the price was traded above that. So it's not like we have pretty much empty space below 58. So in that sense, you would probably think that 58 will be broken, and maybe will be broken first, and then at some point we will get back to 64, 65, etc. So it's not clear at the moment, but I would say that actually this drop was initiated by some correlation with especially Asian stock market, like this Korean equities dropping, and like there was some also tension with NASDAQ, and even S&P 500. This is the pre-market, also kind of a like, you know, hanging in the air. So we'll see whether it will be able to break to the upside. Most likely, but it's not like set in stone, right? So my point is that this is a little bit dangerous, but yet at the same time, if you remember, we were supposed to make a correction, at least in my opinion, down to 60, maybe up to $60,000 before. Instead, we make another high and like extended this rise. So it makes you think that probably the pullback or pushback in that sense would be worse. So maybe we get what we deserve. So not necessarily it happens, but at the same time you can see the daily time frame, right? On the daily time frame, it's almost look as a bearish correction, at least on some of the indicators like this oscillator, lower highs, and histogram on MACD, lower highs, and so on. While here well, I would say it's a little higher high, but still higher, right? So this is not so strong, but still a bearish correction on a daily time frame. So that's rather important. And maybe even more important fact that after the drop, we were dropping so high and so strong and so low, not high and so low and so strong, and that actually lead to some kind of imbalance in the price action. Therefore, with this small correction afterwards, we reached the oscillators being at the very top area, and therefore at this point again likely should be this point actually should be followed by a correction, right? So the rise, like short-term rise, should be over, and then we either go sideways or go to the downside. And we kind of going sideways now, but it doesn't mean that we will continue to go sideways forever. Maybe it's actually more likely to go lower, and then we see the oscillators going down to the very low area, like around 0. Therefore, we may rise from there after it reached there. But when it goes to 0, maybe it's actually the breakout. Well, it will be correlated with the breakout of previous low. So a little dangerous situation. Still, if we go around 60, to the area around 60, then we may have see something like this, right? So that would be our inverse head and shoulders, and from there we can go to the upside. But yet again, that's not confirmed yet. It's just a potential formation, a potential pattern which could happen. So we'll see how it goes. A lot of importance comes from the SP 500 at the moment, or at least like global equities. So if it's going to drop, then if it goes up, then it doesn't mean that Bitcoin will go up, because there is no correlation like that recently. But if it goes down, then I'm not sure if our cryptocurrencies markets holds. Yeah, so that's a little like adding some uncertainty there. But we'll see. I'll keep you posted, and probably let's meet again next week. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.